Second one would be...
We'll go from the really good to the real questionable.
No, because I know how that would end up. I'm going to more or less see if I can actually go in order there. It's how I know where that would go. It's essentially a case of, let's just wail on Ryan Reynolds for about half an hour. No, so we'll go with Transformers next, shall we? You know, Dark of the Moon.
Yep, we'll go. We'll appease my interest. Yeah. Okay.
To be fair, I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So did I.
I know there's going to be a lot of people that are basically like, oh, it's Michael Bay. I hate Michael Bay. Why do you hate Michael Bay? What is actually the problem with it? It's not like it seems like it's popular to actually depict him.
I know why.
As the Antichrist.
I know why people hate Michael Bay, and it's because he took a franchise. He was given a franchise by Steven Spielberg, who is a self-proclaimed Transformers nerd.
Yep.
Okay, which is the whole reason why he took the first movie and produced it, because he wanted to see a live-action Transformers film ever since it was first created. He gave it to the best person who was suited for that type of movie. Who is the best director who, at the time, who was best suited to direct a film, an all-action film that's over the top, larger than life?
John Woo. Yeah. No. To be honest with you, I think he gets a lot of stick because of his little sort of like trademarks. Some people call them cliches, others will call them trademarks. Mm-hmm. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I put my tongue firmly in my cheek when I watch a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
All of the girls are going to be supermodels with big pouty lips,
of course,
unless they're they're for comic relief, in some way, shape, or form.
Unless they're doing a Michael Bay film with Nicolas Cage in them.
Well, yeah.
Then it's a Scottish actor.
But no, you know, you're going to have your over-the-top, very loud discussions / arguments. You're going to have, you know, a horrendous amount of humour sort of like hitting you in the face with a frying pan, more or less. You know, it is going to be very big, very over the top. But at the end of the day, this is a franchise based on alien robots that can turn into vehicles and fight each other. That is all. That if you want to put it in a nutshell, that's what it is. Transformers, isn't it? Optimus Prime leading the good guys, Megatron leading the bad guys, robots in disguise, very important there, and they fight each other. Now, how are you going to actually make blockbusters out of that? You're going to have to make it over the top.
See, the thing is, the people that don't like the Michael Bay Transformers, well, people who don't like Michael Bay, they don't like Michael Bay because of Transformers. Because before he did Transformers, he did other films like Bad Boys.
I think, to be fair,
Con Air.
He'd already sort of like created. He didn't direct Con Air. That was Simon West.
Oh, that's right. It was Simon.
A British director.
That's right.
But
he did do Armageddon.
He did Armageddon.
You cannot find a Michael Bay film that's not fun. I'm not saying they're good. Script-wise, they may be awful because, let's face it, you know, The Island was not exactly a fantastic film.
No.
But it was it's a good popcorn film.
It's a popcorn film. It's fluff, is what it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, could you really actually make Transformers into the kind of cerebral, epic, well thought out, you know, Shakespearean in its execution style of, say, like the Dark Knight or something?
I was just about to say, you give Christopher Nolan the Transformers franchise.
I'm sorry, that would be boring.
It would not be a fun movie. It would be a well-directed film.
Yeah,
a well-written film. But it would be the complete opposite to what Transformers is. Look at the cartoons. Look at the animated movie, which still is the best. Look at all of that. You put that on paper, and you just read it, and you go, this is crap.
Even the variations, you know, like Beast Wars, Beast Machines, which are incredible series.
Yeah, but they're if you really dissect them, they're
Transformers
not really
animated. I couldn't get around the animation style, but it had great writing to it. But not so much where it was a case of, you know, oh my god, it's like the modern Hamlet. You know, it's nothing like that.
Which is why the Michael Bay films are so fun to watch. Yeah. Granted, Rise of the Fallen, there were some. That movie could have been better, and the only reason why it wasn't, and it's been admitted by everyone who worked on that film, the writer's strike seriously hurt them.
Yeah.
because they had to come up with a story. Paramount put them under pressure and said, "You need to come out with a movie now." And the writers, Kurtzman and Orky, they were like, "Yeah, we had to come up with something quickly, so we just said, right, okay, we'll just rip off a storyline from Armada."
Yeah.
And
well, more or less.
Rip off a story from Armada and use that.
It was lots of different pieces from lots of different things, really.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a contradiction to the whole storyline that the first movie and the third movie had.
To be fair, the third movie, I feel actually sort of like, it really kind of justifies what they, well, I say justifies, it does actually make the entire thing feel like a complete unit, it actually does make the first, the second, and the third, it all actually works together. Not saying it's actually flowing and that there are things that are said in the third film that are clues in the first one. It's nothing like that, no. But if you put all three of them together, you actually have this one long epic.
Yeah.
And there is a brilliant conclusion to it.
Yeah, there's a beginning, middle, and end.
I will say personally, when it comes to the pros of it, is the fact that finally they get Shia LaBeouf to actually really nut up.
The guy takes out Starscream by himself.
Then you've got Optimus Prime just being awesome, which was really my favourite thing in Revenge of the Fallen anyway. I've always been an Optimus Prime nerd. He was surrogate father to pretty much every Transformers fan. My age, older,
when he
younger.
died in Transformers the movie,
everybody.
I cried. I did cry. I honestly did cry. I was a kid.
It's like the end of Terminator 2 when he's putting his thumb up. Everybody cries at that as well.
Yeah, I did kind of choke up every time.
So,
and when Kirk died in Star Trek Generations, I cried. I'm sure people are going, yeah, I did that. I did that. Kirk dying? Really?
Really?
You cried at that? You're a jackass. Anyways.
Get out of your mother's basement.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye. But yeah, no, I agree with you.
Also, Megan Fox's replacement, so much better.
The thing is, with her character...
Plus, have to big her up. Because she's from Plymouth. Yeah. Which is in Devon, which is the same county where we record Live from Your Mother's Basement.
Yeah.
Rosie Huntington-Whiteley.
Yep.
Fantastic. She was actually very, very good.
She was actually a better...
For an underwear model, she was incredibly surprising.
That's right. It's a shame. No, I won't go there. But anyways... but no, she was better. She was a good replacement for Megan Fox. But then, I would say this, I have said this before, Megan Fox really wasn't necessary in these films. The female actress,
but at least with this one,
she had a part.
She had a part. She actually, she basically mouths off at Megatron and makes him act.
You are
Sentinel Prime's bitch.
And I just thought you're standing again. You're facing off against a 30-foot robot.
Yeah.
That would squish you like a bug, and you've just said he is Sentinel Prime's bitch.
Let's be fair, it's a 30-foot robot with attitude issues.
Yeah, and a big slash in his face.
Yeah, and the fact that that they made him out to be something like a Nigerian warlord, I thought that was a really good move, and I'm surprised that basically people didn't knee-jerk the racism card like they did with the twins in the second one.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing, this is another thing that people are going to bitch about with Michael Bay films. There always has to be an annoying comic relief.
Deep Wang in this one.
Yeah.
Deep Wang! Yeah. Don't you get it?
Deep Wang.
But at the end of the day, I was sitting there, I was uncomfortable, but I was laughing my ass off the entire time.
Same here.
That he actually sort of had...
but then again, I've loved him since The Hangover.
Yeah.
So, good casting. I don't understand why Malkovich was in it. I watched it several times. I still look at it and go...
He was great, though.
Why is he in the film? I love John Malkovich, but John Malkovich, don't get me wrong, he is fantastic as an actor, but...
I just get the feeling he did that one for a laugh, though.
I think he did it because he wanted to be part of a franchise that his kids may enjoy, or maybe he's got... He enjoys the franchise himself and wanted to be part of it. I don't know, but he just... I mean, you could tell he was having fun.
Oh, yeah.
But it's nice to see him on the screen, in the movie, but I couldn't see why he was in the film.
So that's like, your first con, really, for the movie.
I think that would be my first con, is just, I love John Malkovich, I loved his character, but I don't understand why he was in the film.
I would also say that the only real problem with it is a little bit of predictability. But then, again, I'm not saying it's a real con, because it's a Transformers film. It's that fluff factor. Sentinel Prime being a traitor. Everybody saw that coming, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody
As soon
saw
as
that
they
coming.
said, we've casted Leonard Nimoy to play Sentinel Prime, I went, Galvatron! He's going to be a bad guy in this film.
Though he doesn't turn into Galvatron.
No, he doesn't turn into Galvatron, but anyone who's done the voice of Galvatron is a bad guy.
At the beginning of the movie, he's watching a Star... you got that little Wheelie, isn't it? Who's actually
Wheelie's watching an episode of Star Trek.
And this
yes.
is the one where Spock loses it, he says. And
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, okay, that's just pretty much confirming it, really,
That's
isn't it?
clue number one.
Yeah.
I do like the homage to Mr. Spock, though, because he actually lets Leonard
he
Nimoy
says
say
the needs of the many.
the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few and the one.
Yeah.
And which I thought was fantastic. When I heard that, I got goosebumps and a bit choked up, and I thought, okay, great, you're speaking my language.
I'll also say as well that Patrick Dempsey, even though his role was small, he was actually really good. I was very surprised by him. And especially his little acid edge to him, I thought that was very cool. Yeah. The finale, which is basically a good third of the movie, is an unrelenting assault. The Battle for Chicago. That was brilliant.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't let up. It just basically says, okay, well, we've actually set up the story over the first two parts of the film. Let's just give you lots and lots of violence, and we're going to make it
breaks
awesome.
Loose. Yeah, absolutely. But I think the pinnacle of this film, and I may be wrong, but I'm not, is by far, it's not what Optimus Prime does, because Optimus Prime kicking Megatron's ass and Sentinel Prime's ass, that was awesome. It wasn't that, though, ladies and gentlemen. The best part of that entire film, Bumblebee kills Soundwave. How awesome was that? Bumblebee kills Soundwave. That, my friends, is what Transformers is all about.
I do find it a fantastic film, and again, just that wonderful factor of like Optimus Prime, and it being Peter Cullen as Optimus once again, which has always been a big draw for me for all of these, for each of these movies, and the fact that he does actually get some of the best lines for an action hero. Granted, again, not sort of soliloquies or monologues or anything. No, action hero. One-liners. Yeah. He gets great ones, and his entire arsenal being in his trailer and that sort of thing. Also, the music of it. I've listened to the score several times, and it is by far the best score of the entire series. And there has been some brilliant music in it. So Steve Jablonsky has actually done a fantastic job. So, also the 3D was actually kind of nice as well, because Michael Bay, all of the things that people can say about it, he actually showed depth.
Yeah.
In the 3D, it wasn't a case of let's just throw things at you. No. It was a case of actually.
I think the action in this film was slowed down a bit
behind,
so that you could see it more clearly.
And it makes some bold direction choices. I tend to find this. And I apologise for mentioning this, but watching sort of like various movies for like Kamen Rider and Ultraman in Japan, they're actually made for in 3D these days.
Yeah.
And you tend to find that the directors will do things to actually make the 3D stand out quite nicely and show off some depth. So when you actually watch it in 2D, you end up finding them to be quite bold and interesting direction choices. Things don't get lost, but they end up actually becoming more interesting to look at. And I dare say, when watching Dark of the Moon in 2D as opposed to 3D, it actually makes it look like a more interesting direction choice in the way that it's been. So out of 5 stars then, Ram?
5 stars. This one strong 4.
Yeah, I think I'd go with a 4, maybe 4.5.
Yeah.
But a very definite 4 though.
Yeah,
I would
definitely 4.
For Ram's audition, and he was the only person to audition really to actually be the new co-host.
The only one who was actually notified.
He actually provided sexual favours as well. He didn't have to, but he seemed to be very, very, The sad thing is my penis is over there.
Yeah.
That was great, by the way.
Thanks.
I tried to contain myself. It was very hard.
Yeah.
Oh, why does it ache so much? Yeah.